Okay. So how's everybody doing? That's some build up there. Need a paint scraper to get that all off. Oh, we still had a tiny bit left. Wow. That one didn't want to cut. Alright. Will you fit? Or are you... Nope, you're gonna be... You're just a little too thick. This incense burner's been around the block. It's an old one. Gosh, how old is this? I'm not sure if this is honeymoon old or before that. It's at least honeymoon old. But I think it might actually... Is it older than honeymoon? I don't know. Sorry, my sinuses are picking like this exact moment to attempt to drain, and I'm like, no. No, that's not what we're doing. Not at all. As I'm getting schmutz from the incense burner all over my hands. That's not good. Alright. Trying to find some place to sit this microphone where it's not going to annoy the shit out of me. Alright, how about that? Maybe that will be okay. Is it still working? Because I just moved everything. Alright, so we're still picking up there. So this is where we're at. We've gotten that side done. I'm going to be just a little bit more zoomed in today. Just a little. Not tremendously. Just a little bit so we can see what's happening over here. Alright. So, we've got all of our supplies. We've got our scissors. We've got our stylus. We've got our glue brush. We've got our cup of water. We've got our glue. We've got our tissue paper. We've got a bum hand. Because of course we do. Okay. So let's grab some paper. And some glue. And start to figure this guy out today, huh? I think we're gonna start in here. So actually, let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see, in theory, what the heck's going on. Alright. So we have to try to figure out how to work around our head here. Alright, so remember we're going to work in small sections. And again, we don't do music here for everybody. You guys put on whatever you want to listen to, because I can't afford to get in trouble with DMCA shit. Sorry, I like you guys, but not that much. I'm not getting in trouble over that. So instead we do viewer choice. You listen to what you want to. But I'm not going to screw myself over. Let's see. Is that about... That looks a little big. That is a little big. So maybe there. Okay. Alright, so it's Sunday. It's another art Sunday. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing alright. For those new, this project we are doing, it's being glued onto a piece of stretched canvas. It's 11 by 14. And we painted a color reference onto the canvas so that we didn't have to constantly be checking our reference photo. So that gives us an idea of where things need to go to make sure that we don't lose the plot, so to speak, and get all skewed and deviate too far, and still kind of keep the right shape. But it also gives us a little bit of freedom, I guess, so that we're not constantly worrying about trying to stay so close to the reference photo. I'd originally put sand on the background, and we had painted it a darker color because when I was originally setting this up, I was like, oh yeah, you know, we'll do the little feather things, they'll be crisscrossing each other, and then some of the background will be peeking through, and it'll be fine. And then when it came time to actually start doing it, it wasn't sitting the way I had wanted to, which is what this hot mess is down here. We had to experiment a little bit to figure out what way was going to work the best, and what we're doing now seemed to work the best for me. So we're just ignoring that stuff. We're just doing over top of it, because plans are allowed to change. If something doesn't feel like it's working, then stop and reevaluate. Once you're sure. I mean, we didn't give up on it, we just took it in a slightly different direction. And that's okay. It's your art piece. You're allowed to do that. – 100%. Alright. So it's actually a decent Sunday here today. It was chilly. Well, it wasn't really chilly, but it was nice last night, so I had the window open. But by the time I woke up, it was an oven in our room, so bye-bye window. It's hard to get our room a temperature that's happy. I mean, it doesn't help that the rest of the house had the AC on, so our room's not affected by the house AC really. So we just we have a curtain across our doorway whenever we do open the window if the AC's on in the rest of the house, so we're not, you know, throwing money out the window. But it was too warm in our room when I woke up, so. And we can't really leave windows open unattended because a certain kitten likes to climb and fuck with the windows. She might be too big now to do that, but it doesn't stop her from trying. So, like, I can't leave a window in the kitchen open all night unattended and go to bed because her loveliness will be climbing in between the window, like the glass and the screen. And we had to put these cats, we had to put chicken wire over the windows that we tend to open for them because they won't leave the screens alone. If there's like a bug on the screen or something, they will try to claw through the screen. So we had to put a little bit of chicken wire over the screen outside on some of the windows just so that we have a few seconds of reaction time to stop them before they would get out. Because, you know, we live in a busy road and they're not outdoor cats. The only one that's really ever, well, the only two that have ever really been outside have been the kitten, and she was freaking terrified, and the older female, but she hasn't been outside for a couple of years now, so she tends to flee and panic before she stops and thinks about things, so really don't want her fleeing into traffic because, you know, even though they put the bypass in that goes around the middle of town, we still get a number of dump trucks and semis that come past our house, and you know, little tiny cat ain't gonna stand a chance against that. Just not. Alright, so this does look a little darker than it did last week, but that's okay because I really didn't want a whole lot of the blues and the greens poking through because you could hardly see them on the photo. And when we go to put the sealant on, it's gonna make the colors pop a bit. I know here the green looks a little dull. It'll brighten up a little. Not sure which sealer I want to use though. I have two options. I'm not really a fan of the one though. I really prefer the Mod Podge sealer. But it is a water-based sealer, so you have to be a little bit more mindful of where you're gonna hang stuff. Alright. Sit down in there. Okay. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly. But I wasn't expecting this one to be a quick one anyway. I've got an idea for another one. That one might go a little bit faster. Because it's more of a landscape, so. And then we might, well, I think we're gonna do, we might do a painting. We might do an abstract painting before we jump into another tissue art one, just to break it up a little bit. Just a little. I haven't decided what we would be painting yet. We might just kind of throw some color and do some line art over it. That's definitely a possibility, and we could do that on watercolor paper, so we could see if the gouache paints are still usable, or we could actually try to paint something. I don't know. Let's get that pushed down in there. Alright. It's nice doing the small sections, because, or at least these sections here, because I'm like, yeah, we're really making progress today. It's very deceiving. We're just spreading the glue out with the brush so we don't have to waste so much glue. And we're just blotting our brush on a paper towel. And I'm using paper towel because we're using glue, so I don't want anything to happen to my actual paint towel. Like the glue residue in there and stuff. Alright. So this section's requiring some more of the tinier cuts in there. Not too terribly tiny, but tiny enough. All right. How's everybody's weekend? What'd you guys do? Anything fun, exciting? Our weekend consisted of oh shit, our microwave died, and that's like the thing my mom uses the most, so it couldn't have picked a worse time to die. That was not fun at all. And then there was the grand debate of, well, we're gonna have to wait a couple weeks before we can replace it. And then the realization of what that was gonna mean, waiting a couple of weeks for the amount of dishes that were gonna increase. Watching my mom cook. Because, she spares no pot. No pot or pan. Everything gets cooked individually. There's no sharing of pots. Because she had to heat up a can of creamed corn, and they were having broccoli, and then they were having this, and she was having this, and he was having that, and I'm like, oh god. You're gonna use like 2/3 of the pans we have in this house to cook with for one meal. I'm never gonna leave this kitchen. Never. Alright, let's get this put in there. So, we were gonna be screwed either way, so we just went and, accepted the fact that we were going to be screwed either way, so we went and got it. It was a little bit less than we had expected, I think, but it wasn't, still was too much to be spending. As far as we were concerned. Alright. So sorry we got started a little bit late today. I was actually up on time. Well, on time for me. It was a struggle. But I was dragging my ass out of bed. I'm still kind of tired, but I had to get our dough started for our pizza for tonight. Because that has like an hour and a half minimum rise time on it, so I didn't want to wait to start that till after we were done here, because then we wouldn't have dinner till like midnight. Probably. Alright. So we've got 2 more sections in there to go. Okay. Tuck that in there. And we might be able to get one more guy in there. Alright. Need to clean off our glue bottle here. If it's gonna cooperate. There we go. It's being a little stubborn. We can't be having that. There we go. Alright, so. Actually, that might be 3 spots. Maybe. I still have to do this eye feather, but I wasn't sure we were gonna get that far today. We'll see. Because we're still a little ways from there. We still need to do all of this. That might be a little... just fit. There's a tight squeeze in there though. Come on. Don't be difficult. Alright. Because I just stabbed myself with a tiny piece of my fingernail. I keep them cut short for a reason. Number one, I tend to bite them when I get extra stressed and anxious and nervous and all that. Number two, they get in the way. I don't know how people can type with such long fingernails. I don't. Maybe it's because I touch my keys. Like, I have specific spots on my keys that I need to feel, and I feel like the nails will get in the way. And I've had small instances of being able to leave my nails alone long enough to give them some kind of growth, and then they break, and that hurts so bad. Alright, let me... Did that? No, it didn't. I'm like, where did it go? Because it doesn't look like I had put it down. I did put it down, just didn't go where I had told it to. Alright. So, give me 1 second. Okay. So, let's get in that section. And I'm debating if I want to do a spot here. I think I'm going to skip that spot. I don't think we're really gonna need that spot. I think it's gonna get covered by the body, to be perfectly honest. This is a skinny guy, so let's grab somebody with a little more life to them. It's a little bit fluffier to fit in the section. Skinny mini in there is not going to be ideal. Because we're in a section where that's a lot of skinnies to fit in there. As it is, I think we still need to cut a few more pieces. Well, maybe one more. Grab this guy. Get this one. Alright. So, there's that. Now, okay, I think we'll move on to this section here, but we're gonna do it in smaller bits. Okay. And let's spread this out. Like, we don't want it real thin because then there won't be very much there to grip the glue. Okay. So let's figure out approximately our sizes. Let's start to get this worked in. About there. So none of these measurements are exact whatsoever. I'm just kind of holding the piece up to the edge of it and kind of being like, well, maybe that's about right. Oh, goodness. Okay. So we got that. Oh, uh-oh. No! Where did it go? Aw. It fell. It fell into the abyss, guys. Well, shit. It was like the perfect size, too. That's sad. Okay. Let's get that put in. So this is just regular tissue paper that you would find in like the greeting card section of like Walmart or Target or I don't know, whatever, Hallmark, I guess. Are there still Hallmark stores? Wow, that was really hard to say. Wow. Oh man, it's gonna be one of those days. Oof, that was. Those letters did not want to form in the word that they were supposed to. Wow. Whew. Some days, some words are just not happy. Not happy at all. So or like in the gift section of like your craft stores or stuff, I guess. It's not special tissue paper. It's just you can find it at Dollar Tree. In fact, the white one that I used was from Dollar Tree. I would have gotten all of the tissue paper at Dollar Tree, however, they did not have very many colors, which made me sad. Very, very sad. Like, they had some multi-packs, but a lot of the multi-packs had prints in them, and I'm like, I don't want the print. There's no point in using the print, because we're gonna be kind of ripping it up anyway. And they actually didn't have that much tissue paper either. I think they're having a supply issue. But this stuff I got from Amazon, most of it. Some of it I got from Walmart. Some of it some of it was Dollar Tree, so I'm not sure if Dollar General had any. I don't remember if we looked. I don't have much luck at Dollar General. I actually hate shopping there because it's not actually a dollar store. Their name is very deceiving. Because I think when Russell and I first saw it, we went in and we're like, this shit's not $1. Alright, let's try that size. It feels a little... it is a touch big, but maybe we can squish them down in there. Alright. So... tell ya, I was so tired yesterday. Felt like I was just going through the day in a daze. And then I tried to go to sleep a little bit early for me, and none of the critters in this house were having it. I'm like, no, we're gonna go sleep. Get settled in. Well, then someone does this, someone does that, and I'm laying there yelling at them to stop. And then something sounded like it fell, and I'm like, what the hell was that? So then I had to get up, and I'm trying to figure out what the frig fell. And because it upset Zuzu, it upset the cat, and I'm like, what did you guys do? Because it almost sounded like the fan fell out of the window, but the fan was in place. So I'm like, well, it wasn't the fan. And then I realized the walking stick that we have next to the bed slid down and fell somehow. I don't know how. I was like, okay. So then I had to fix that. And then I get all settled back into bed. Everybody's settled. And then I hear Peabody digging at the glass on the front door. And I'm like, no! I'm like, I'm sorry, porch cat, but I fed you twice today. I can't afford to feed you a third time, and Russell's gonna get mad at me if I do. I swear, I feel like we're the only ones feeding this cat, and he supposedly has owners that just let him have outdoor cat life. And I'm like, if you have owners, why am I the one that's feeding you? Why don't you go home to eat? He, like, keeps wanting to come in our house. And I'm like, you don't live here, bud. And, you're cute and all, but we're all full of cat right now. We have no cat vacancies. We are all filled up. We can't take anybody else in, especially when you supposedly did have an owner that claimed you on Facebook. So, in fact, a couple of people thought you belonged to them, but one person seemed particularly positive that you were theirs. Called you a drama queen, and that you're always begging people for food. So, and you're not that fat. You're kind of skinny. He likes to hunt around our house for some reason. Constantly hanging out in our yard, to the point that I'm beginning to think our neighbors are going to think it's our outdoor cat, and it's not. And it's not like he lives a couple houses over either. If he does actually belong to this one particular person on Facebook, he actually lives like across the street and several streets down, so not exactly a neighbor. Just kind of intriguing. Okay. So, next section, I need to twist more tissue paper soon, I think. I don't think what I've got twisted is gonna get us to where we need to go. Just I don't see it. I feel like I'm gonna run short. That could just be me severely underestimating. Where did you hang the mat? Husband? Where'd you hang the mat?
I hung it over the door.
Okay.
We're probably gonna have to scrub it at some point.
Oh, nothing came off?
Some stuff came off, but not quite enough.
Alright. Do we need to, like, soak it in some bleach or something?
I think it's gonna need physical scrubbing is what I'm getting at.
We had a mat that you can sit dishes on to dry, that's like supposed to be cushiony and absorby, but we had put it under our one drying rack and kind of forgot about it, and didn't really think about, you know, it needing to be washed or anything, because it's just water that's dripping on it. It's fine. It's starting to get moldy, so I'm like, oh no. I had picked up the rack because I was looking for something on the table that had vanished, and I was like, oh, that's kind of gross. So now I don't have anything under that drying rack, and I'm gonna have to put something down. Don't know what. I'm sure we'll find a towel of some description. We'll just have to swap the towels out regularly. That's what we have to do for the time being. But might need to take a little bit of diluted bleach and put it on that mat and scrub it. And then rewash it with clothes that we don't care about, or towels. Or just hand wash the bleach out of it. That's also possible. Oh, the fun things that one comes across. Alright, give me... Oof, got this one spot on the back of my head that's tingling and I don't know why. Very distracting. Okay. Check your implement, your tool. Make sure there's no glue buildup happening. That's kind of small. Starting to get into a little bit longer territory. But not quite that long. That was a little tiny tail. I probably could have squished it in there. Probably. All right. Doing pretty good. And we got, where were we? We got these in. Now we're working on this one. Ah, almost dropped it. I've been dropping a lot of things lately. Out of both hands. Not a fun time. Which is why we're not going to use the wood burner anytime soon. Besides, my hand's a little fucked to be using the wood burner right now. I did something, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I think I said it before. I was moving my hands, and this one was like going this way really easy, and this one didn't want to. And I went like that, and apparently that was not the thing to do. And my hand hasn't been right since, and there's times where it's really not right. Yesterday, it was okay. I didn't do much yesterday, though. Today it's not quite as good. I picked up the cat, and I definitely felt the strain of picking up the cat. I was like, oh. But that's not fun. It's not carpal. I can tell you that much. I'd be very surprised if it's carpal. My hand's not numb. And it's on the outside edge of my arm. Is where it seems to be stemming from. Although last night was kind of weird because while I had my wrist sitting on an ice pack that was sitting on me while I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep, and I was trying to navigate my touch screen on my Kindle, and every time I moved my hand, my wrist was popping. I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, this is kind of creepy. With the rate that it was popping, I was like, yeah, don't like this. So I'm sure I just angered something that's gonna require resting. kind of probably not gonna happen very much. Alright, so I'm just gonna make sure everybody's squished in there and nice and tight. Okay. So we keep these little bits for sections like this where we have to squeeze them down in there. So let's get this all sorted. Just gonna do this in very small amounts so we can get in there without a whole bunch of glue mucking up the place to the point that we can't see. I'm not going to be able to lay these in entirely the direction I want them to be, but the section in there is so small. Don't think it's gonna matter that much. Where it's gonna be all that noticeable. Let's see. Okay. That's in there pretty good. Now, let's move on to this next section on the corner here. That actually was a little bit of a bigger section than I had originally wanted to go. And I accidentally put that over a section that already had tissue paper on it. So now I can't see where I'm at. I think I see where I'm at. Okay, let's put that over there. Kind of dry and hang out. As we work on getting these guys squished into place. Okay. really tight space in there. But I think it's working. Let's see, how many more of these do we have? We're almost out. Oh no. Okay. So time to get cutting again. So carefully try to get those worked in there. Let's try this length here. Sometimes the slightly longer ones can work to your advantage. Sometimes. Not all the time. All right. Oh, hi, kitty. No, you can't come up right now. Hi. I'm flattered that you want to come up and visit, but I actually have glue down. And I really don't want a cat full of glue. That would be bad. That would not be amusing whatsoever. You would not be amused, and I would not be amused. Russell really wouldn't be amused. And that's not on my list of things to do today, is to wash glue off of a cat. I mean, it's not toxic, but I don't think a fun time would be had by anyone in that situation. Okay, sorry, I had to wipe a little bit of the glue off there just to make sure I wasn't missing any spots. Just scraping the glue off my hand. That was starting to build up there. So now we're getting skinny again. So I'm gonna have to start cutting some smaller pieces. And you want to make sure that your paper has actually cut before you go to pull your scissors away. Else you're going to have a little bit of a mess. Somebody's hanging around under my desk. I just felt something fluffy touch my foot. And that's kind of a creepy sensation when you're not expecting it. Gotta say. It's like every ounce of me not to kick my foot. Because that is my knee-jerk reaction, is to kick whatever the hell just touched me. The cats don't normally hide under my desk. And Little likes to do love bites on my legs. We had a cat that used to do that to me all the time too. I had to constantly wear socks or shoes around him, because he would just lean over if I wasn't actually walking and just bite me. Not like hard to draw blood, but like, hey, give me attention. Alright. So. Apparently, I've been like, had this weird obsession or fascination with watching bloggers that tend to go to, well, I guess vloggers would be the appropriate term, that tend to like do a lot of Walt Disney stuff, and I'm not even that big of a Disney fan. Like, Disney's okay. I liked it when I was little. I wasn't like fangirling over it though. And I'll probably never go to Disney again. But for some reason, I just can't stop watching these other people spending their day there, and I'm just like, wow. And part of me, I guess, is just like, so you paid how much to walk through the door, and then you paid how much to eat that one snack, and how many rides did you get to go on? Like trying to justify the price in my head just wasn't adding up, and I'm just like, okay. Russell and I have always been more SeaWorld anyway. It's a slower pace at SeaWorld for us. But we don't do the rides at SeaWorld either. I can't do the rides because of my neck. I can't even do an effing log flume at like the boardwalk. I can't do it. I tried and it hurt bad. I think the only thing I can do now, currently, Ferris wheel and a carousel. That's probably the extent that it's gonna be. Which makes me sad, because I used to love doing tilt-a-whirl and all that, and can't do it. It hurts very much. Like, I feel every fling and turn, and it's painful. But the one set of like, we hit a good deal going into SeaWorld. They were having a 50% off ticket sale, so we both got to go in for the price of one ticket, and it was a nice day. We had a lot of fun. I spent too much money on souvenirs, but we had a nice day. I've got a couple of plushes. I've got an otter. I've got a manatee. We bought his mom a jellyfish that's stuffed. I got a little twirly thing that was on clearance because I think it was slightly damaged. But I didn't care because it was kind of cool. It hasn't been outside recently though, because I wasn't real confident in the hook that I had it on. I really should get that back outside. Or at least hung from a better location in our room, I suppose. Okay. Just gonna get, I got carried away and just kind of put the glue down across the whole thing. I was already down the one side before I realized, and I was like, well, it's too late to stop now. Might as well just go for it. So we're gonna have to work a little bit quicker in this section. Probably have to start cutting like 2 at a time, if possible. But we're getting the head area outlined in, so that's good. We are making progress. But this is not a quick project. Now, I probably would have been done by now if I wasn't streaming this project, because I've only been working on it on stream with you guys, so it's also something to keep in mind. Like, not every project would be this slow necessarily, but I actually haven't really had time to work on it off stream because I've been busy trying to get video recorded and edited for other projects. Ooh, so who's excited for the Planet Zoo pack tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. The North American Animal Pack is coming. I'm not sure if we're getting a free update as well, or if it's just the Animal Pack. Sometimes they'll do like a couple new features that will get updated or what have you that aren't part of the pack, but we'll see. I mean, we're eventually going to try to get that North American Animal Pack, but it's not going to be for a while. Because we're just not going to have the money. Especially after the microwave dying. Alright. So, gonna keep on moving here. Time is it anyway? Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Alright. Time has a way of vanishing on me when I'm doing art. And since I'm feeding the husband tonight, we're eating together. I need to keep track of the time. So we can't go too late today. One of these days we'll do another longer art stream. We'll get there eventually. And eventually we'll either we'll start later in the evening, or I'll actually manage to be awake early enough. I mean, it's gotta happen eventually, right? We both thought we heard Momo yelp earlier when we were half asleep, but we only heard it the once, and we don't know what it was about. I think I sat up to check on him and he was in his dog bed, so I was very confused. It could have also been Zuzu if he was messing with one of the cats and they swung at him. Because he has this thing now where he tries to play with Little. Little's the kitten. And, well, she's not so much of a kitten anymore. I think she's, just about a year old. Just about. And she really doesn't know what to think of the dog, so when we first got her, she just hissed at everything. Because everything was new and scary. She was used to everything being new and scary since we found her outside. But, Zuzu will try to chase her and she'll run and then she'll turn around and kind of run back at him and then he gets kind of upset. And I'm like, well, what did you expect? I told you not to chase the cat. You didn't want to listen. It's like, let's not chase the kitty because kitty's going to swipe at you and then you're going to get upset and I really can't deal with a ripped open dog nose right now. So I really don't want to become a frequent visitor to the vet. And now that you all are getting old, you're getting feisty. I think they're like 9. But Momo's on strict rest. I don't even know what week we're on anymore. I don't know how long he's been on this. I don't know when he last went to the vet. Has it been a week? Has it been 2 weeks? I don't know. Maybe it's been just a full week. I'm that tired, I don't know when he went to the vet. The second time. And they were telling us, oh, you know, try to keep him from moving around too much. Give him the muscle relaxers for like 4 weeks and then, you know, bring him back in and we'll see where we're at. And I'm like, I don't have money to bring him back in. So this might end up being something that we just have to constantly manage. But it's hard to gauge how he feels about life when he's on these muscle relaxers. We cut the medication in half though, because the full dose was it seemed a little much. He was very wobbly when he would try to get up to go pee, to the extent that we were concerned he was going to fall over and do himself more trouble. So the vet said that we could half that. And that seems to be doing him a bit more good. It was just concerning, you know, sitting there watching him try to hold his head up and him like jerking his head all over because he couldn't. So That was a little too relaxed in our opinion, but and that gap does not want to cooperate, so we'll just have to take one of our other guys and fill the crack, which is why we save these little pieces. Like I was saying earlier, you never know when you're gonna need the little guys. They do come in handy. Okay. That one's not really a little guy, but gonna set him there for just a minute. And I think we can, yep, slide you right into there. Okay. Do this. Behind you.
Who is it?
Yes.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Sorry, one of the cats was getting into something and we were trying to figure out who it was. But the older female doesn't really play that much, and she won't play if she sees us watching her. So it's kind of nice to see her playing, 'cause for a long time she wouldn't. So we don't know how long she'd been on the street, 'cause like, we would show her all these cat toys, and she's like, well, what the hell is this? What am I supposed to do with this? But, she found something on the floor to play with. And started going at it. And we try not to discourage her. From playing. Got just a little guy there. I think we can tap them into that spot. So we've actually gotten pretty far with the amount of paper that I pulled out. Kind of surprised. Although these ones were small sections, so maybe it's not all that surprising. And this is just regular tacky glue, nothing fancy about it. I don't know if Elmer's or school glue would work as well. I think it would take a bit longer to grip, so you might have to start to let it get a little bit of a film on top before you start laying stuff down in it. Like, not completely dry, but just ever so slightly starting to. That might help it grip a little bit better. If you go with you go with a non-tacky glue, I would not use a glue stick for this. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna have enough sticky for you. I would not recommend. I mean, it could, but if you're going to be doing it especially on canvas, I wouldn't, besides the liquid glue, is a lot easier to get into the crevices and spread around. I think you're going to have trouble if you try to do this with a glue stick. I just don't think it's going to work. Okay. Time to degunk our stick here. And degunk my hand. Get the glue scraped off of that. And do a glue check on the fingers. Okay. It just keeps your hands a little bit cleaner, checking on them every so often. And it makes it a little bit easier to work with all of the things. So that is not going to be enough paper for the next part. So let's go ahead and pull a little bit more out. Okay. So we're going to get this guy in here next. That's probably a little thick there, but let's see what we can do here. So there's a little bit of a lip back here around this one green one. Just trying to make sure that we've got some, or a gap rather, not a lip. Trying to make sure we got some of that glue down in there. Okay. See, about maybe there. See how this goes. This might be a little. No, it's not too bad. Size kind of works. Like a little tiny section. Okay. So, this little guy, kind of get him squished down in there. I'm trying to get the extra glue off my other finger. This. See how that one's gonna sit in there. Alright, that's pretty good. Sometimes they fit really well, And sometimes you horribly misjudge the size of the cut. That one was a little short. This one's probably just a smidge long. Yep. That's okay. I'm gonna tuck the tail on that one up a little bit. Okay. So let's maybe there. Do the next cut. And we'll work on getting this guy squished in here. Yeah, definitely a little heavy on the glue in this spot. And that one's a little bit long. So, just gonna try to make him not look quite so long. So we are coming up on the edge there. Probably gonna have to cut this guy a little bit smaller. Okay. This one's going to be a little bit longer, but that's okay. Just going to kind of wrap it around over to there. And I've got a couple of these smaller guys here. We're going to just try to tuck into this gap along the edge. So I don't want the edge to be too no, not my finger. Don't want the edge to be too too wrapped around, because then it might have trouble being put into a frame. If someone chooses to frame it. Alright, what's our time at? Okay, we've got a little bit more time we can go today, so let's ideally, I wanted to get this section done too, but we'll see. Alright, so we're going to try to go back to our smaller sections that we're going to work in. Because this one is a bit longer. So I really don't want that much glue down right now, not with all of the cutting that we have to do. If I didn't have to worry about cutting them into place or to size, I would just kind of put it all in there and be good to go. But because of that, I don't want to have it be drying too much. Alright, make sure that's good and clean and blotted on our paper towel. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's grab a couple of pieces here.
Yeah.
And start to clip these guys into place. That one was just a little short, actually. Well, that's okay, because this one's a little long. It makes up for it. Kinda, sorta. Well, if I can just get them to stay put, then we'd be looking pretty good there. Probably. Alright. So I was actually contemplating doing a snail and painting that one on the next project and doing line art on him. So that could be what we do next. We'll see. I mean, we've still got a few weeks to go on this one. I want to get some cookie cutters too, and do something with our clay. Maybe make like ornaments or something. Depends on how heavy they would be. Because archery is not that sturdy. My goodness, the bass on that vehicle. My ass shouldn't be vibrating in my chair in my house with the windows closed. I'm sorry. I know our house sits really, like, kind of right on the road, but that's a little much. Just a little. Surprised you haven't gotten a ticket. Especially around here. There's a lot more people in town this weekend because there's some junk events happening. Antique junk events, whatever. I think they call them junk events. Plus, I think there might have been an Apple festival this weekend. I don't know. We don't pay attention to these things because we don't go to them. Too many people. It was too many people before, so it's not like it's a state of the world at the moment thing. We just... Not that we would go right now with the state of everything, but we didn't go beforehand either, so... Though I'm not sure where they were having the Apple Festival. Like, I know it was in the next town over. It's apparently... they're known, or that's their thing, is the Apple Festival. I think the sign for the town says Home of the Apple Festival, to be perfectly honest. There's a big apple on their town sign. I don't know where exactly they were having it. I don't know if it was like out in a field somewhere or something. The one place that did a lot of like apple sales of different types of apples and apple products and things went out of business. We actually saw a for sale sign on that property, so I'm intrigued about where they have this festival. If it was actually this weekend, it may not have been. It might just be coming up. honestly thought they had already had it, to be perfectly frank. But then again, I lost like 2 weeks worth of time, so I don't know. I've been so tired. I was so tired I was mislabeling the WoW Challenges podcast episode on the tweets. And nobody said a word. Apparently I had scrolled up through Discord and saw 272 and I'm like, oh, okay, we're on 273. And just went with it on the one set of tweets and no, I was wrong. Very wrong. But nobody messaged me and was like, hey, that's not the right episode, and I didn't catch it until last night, 5 minutes before the show, and I was like, oh shit. Like, damn it. I had scrolled through Discord looking for the episode, and I just scrolled up enough. I didn't actually read the message. So the fact that we skipped a week on shows kind of fucked me up a little bit. Whenever we skip weeks, I'm like kind of all out of sorts when we come back, because I'm like, what am I doing now? Do I remember how to do this? I know it's only been a week, but there's a lot involved in this, and am I forgetting something? Like, that's kind of how it was last night. Plus, I was so tired, I'm like, did I do everything? I don't know if I did everything. I feel like I forgot to do something. I still feel like I forgot to do something. I have been feeling like I forgot to do something for days. Days. And it's really starting to get to me, because I don't know what it is. I like have a little mental checklist running, and I cannot figure out what it is. Don't know. It's not registering. Maybe I didn't actually forget to do anything, but I'm just thinking I did. I don't know. I know I'm paranoid about forgetting to do the write-up for Brewfest for WoW Challenges, with how weird time has been for me lately, so I'm like constantly checking. Oh shit, what's today's date? Today's the 3rd. Okay. My dad's birthday is coming up. We don't have any money to get him anything. So a happy birthday is going to have to suffice. So I think we have like $3 left in our checking account, and for the next like week and a half. Maybe 2 weeks. So happy birthday is going to have to do. Because I tend to only do art gifts for Christmas because they're a lot more involved, and I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to do for her for Christmas. I need to start thinking about that. She loves her roosters, but figure that out. Alright. So, I think I went a little light on the glue in this section. At least it feels that way. Maybe not. It might be alright. Okay. So, let's get that cleaned up. I mean, how many pictures of a rooster can one paint, so... Don't know. Do I need to cut this one? So. No, I didn't need to cut that one. That one fit pretty good. This one's gonna be a little long. But I think that's okay. We can work with that. Okay. This one we're gonna have to trim. Just a bit. We're not gonna get rid of those. We're gonna hold on to them because we're gonna need those in here or in here. They will be used. Try not to waste very much. Okay. This. This guy we might not have had to cut, actually. Okay. Got my finger in the glue. Now we're covered. Okay. So skinny mini here. Stick them right in there. Okay. And this guy's kind of the perfect size to put in there. Didn't have to do much adjusting to him. Try to get in this one tucked in here. Okay. Getting this guy tucked in here. Alright, now tomorrow I'm not planning on doing a stream because, well, I don't normally stream on Monday, and especially right now with my hand, so I'm gonna try, depending on what we have to do tomorrow, and you know, migraines and all, I'm gonna try to get the next episode of Flamingo Falls edited. That might take me a couple of days though, because I think I'm gonna have to hunt down some more music for that one. Because I feel like that one might be a little bit longer. I might have to cut some sections out of that one. Because that's the episode where I was trying to reduce a building's negative rating and realizing it wasn't gonna go down any further, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do there, because it is sticking out onto that section of path. I might have to rework the path to try to work around that. I don't know. I'll have to see. So I have a feeling that one's going to take a little bit more pain to edit. I hate editing video so much. That's why I prefer to live stream, because editing video just irks the bejesus out of me.
Do you need help?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about editing video.
Oh, okay.
You know how...
Sorry, you made that noise while I heard struggling sounds in plastic.
No. We're good. Is she done?
Yeah.
Alright. So, this is probably going to be a shorter one today. And I do apologize. I would try to come back later since we've been so short today. However, I do have other things I need to work on today, so I still have my Bloodthirsty Challenger. I still have a Bloodthirsty Challenger I need to finish getting ready for Wednesday. So that's one of the reasons why I can't really focus on just editing tomorrow, because I've got to get that mage sorted, and I only managed to get like 10% of her level done last night. I was just too tired to focus early, so when I start watching the video that I'm listening to while trying to work on my Bloodthirsties, I know I'm too tired, and I need to not. I need to go do something else, or at least get up and walk away. But I mean, at that point it was like 2 in the morning, and I was just trying to stay up long enough to get the doggo his medication at that point, so. Alright, I need a teeny tiny little guy without potentially gluing him to my hand. Because that will be no good. Could you go preheat the oven?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay. Got that. And get this guy in there. It's gonna take a little bit for the oven to preheat, so might as well get that started on its way.
Preheating 425, right?
Yeah. Thank you. So, we'll get that squished into there. Alright. So we have just a little bit more. I don't want to leave this row undone. So I'm trying to get the extra glue off of my fingers because the paper will want to stick to that. So we didn't get a whole lot done today, but we did get some stuff done. So we got this section, this section, this section, this section, and this section. And then we got this section in here, up into here. Got here and here, and now we're working on this one. So, you know, not as far as I wanted to be today, but it's okay. And now my brain is trying to think about what the hell I'm gonna do for Christmas gifts. And don't come at me, I know it's only October 3rd, but this shit takes time to do. So, and last Christmas season, I actually had a commission I was working on down to the wire, so that's why I need to start thinking about things and stuff and what we're gonna do, cause I got nothing. Like, I literally have nothing. Don't have a clue. Alright, so let's get our next section here. I mean, I've got those, but those feel a little small. For this part. Just a little bit small. Not tremendously so, but oh, that was 2. I thought that was 2. The way they were being situated in between my fingers, it only looked like 1. Right. So let's get this guy tucked into here. I'm trying to think about my angles, but it seems like if I get the one angle in, like their first angle, then it seems like I'm okay following it without too much extra mental prodding. Okay. Now, I do think we can fit a couple of these guys in here. Possibly, maybe, kinda, sorta. Maybe. Maybe. Reversed. Very little. Okay. That might be a gap, so let's kind of tuck that in there. And we need to degunk our tool. When it starts to get a little ring around the bottom of the ball there, it's probably time to to degunkify that. Alright. I may need to get some canvas, which is not ideal. I've really got to sit down and scroll through Unsplashed later. I think. Okay. Everybody else is all worried about Halloween, and I'm like, oh god, Christmas gifts. Alright. I think my neighbor's work schedule changed, because instead of leaving at 6 a.m. this morning, he came home at 7 a.m. Because I was laying there hoping that the outside cat would realize that I wasn't going to get up and feed him again. And I heard the neighbor's truck come in, and then I heard the cat, our inside cat, stop scratching at the door. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe he took off when the car came in. I mean, I don't mind feeding him, but I really can't afford to feed him 3 meals a day. I guess he wasn't very successful hunting. Though I did see him half climb a tree the other day because he was chasing something. That was fascinating. At least I think it's a he. I think we've determined, or we believe it's a fixed he. And we're not sure if he was like part of a barn cat program or something, because his ear is notched. And I thought that they usually do that with like outdoor strays or something when they fix them, so they know they've been through the system before. Either that or the notch isn't actually a deliberate notch and it's battle damage from him defending his territory. Either is completely possible, but let's see what we can do here. Okay. Sorry, when I'm stalling, or it looks like I'm stalling, I'm trying to get the glue off of my other hand. Try to nudge you into place. Get this one put into here. So this section is going to be a little strange size-wise. Okay. See, we don't need to cut this one. Alright. We might need a few more pieces of paper to finish up this section. To be perfectly honest. I don't think this is gonna be enough. We're gonna be just a few paper twists short. Okay. This guy, our glue's starting to, our glue was a little thin in this section. So, that's kind of why I prefer to go with, the Mod Podge to seal these. Because then it kind of just makes sure that everybody is in fact glued into place. No, you live there now. Thank you. So make sure everybody's in place, and if they're not gonna go anywhere unauthorized, trying to use up all these little pieces because I really don't want to have to get more out of the bag right now. I mean, if we have to, we have to. But, no. You go there. It's like, stick, damn you. You need to stick. Like, I have a whole huge bottle of glue next to me, and I'm like, no, you will stick in that spot. You will. You must. Alright. I think that'll stay. If not, then I'll have to break down and do a little more glue on there, but it still felt a little bit wet with the glue. It's just, it wasn't very deep for it to stick into. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I think that's all we're gonna do for today. Next week, we'll work on this one. We'll get this section in, and this section, and this section. I want to get all of this filled in around the head before we really start getting in there and working on him. So I definitely think I'm gonna have to end up twisting the remainder of that paper, but that's okay. I can do that while I'm doing Minecraft stream prep at the same time, because I'm just smelting stuff, so I just have to sit there and watch the Minecraft oven and shove more shit in it. So that's gonna do it for today. We're getting there, you guys. We're getting there. Let's take a bigger I know I'm moving this all around. We're getting there. So, I mean, we haven't really gotten too much work done on the body yet, but I don't think that'll take that much time. Not the level of time that this side is taking. Like, we still have to fix this section down here, and that's probably going to be a royal mess, but we'll get that sorted. And we're getting there, because we've definitely turned the corner now. We just have this bit to go still on the background feathers. So looking good. Stream schedule this week. Wednesday, of course, we're going to do Bloodthirsty. We won't be doing Iron this week because Brewfest will have wrapped up long before we get started for the day. So the Iron's going to sit. We might do a round of flower picking on the Pacifist. On the Hunter, we'll see. Just kind of, you know, doing some prep work on them, getting ready for when 9.1.5 comes in. I have not seen a date on that yet. If anybody has, let me know. I keep seeing them adding stuff to PTR for that, but I haven't seen anybody talk about a live date for that, so let me know. Maybe they haven't announced it yet. Maybe I haven't actually missed seeing it. That's also possible. Thursday we'll be doing Minecraft again, and Friday we'll be doing more Planet Zoo franchise Friday and putting the roof on our exhibit house and doing the landscaping on the outside of it. Let me check the dates here. I think hold on, I had a date pop in my head and I just checked the calendar and the date didn't jive with the day. So, okay, yeah. So, next Saturday, I'll be co-hosting with Lita on the WoW Challenges podcast. We're gonna have some things to talk about. Some interesting, mildly interesting things, at least for the news that Farron and Zaya and I found out. It's interesting. Nothing bad, it's just interesting. And then next Sunday, we'll be back here doing art. Yeah, so full week ahead. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I usually post when I'm about to go live there or give updates on my WoW Challenges characters or just bitch about whatever the hell's going wrong. we like to share the misery so it doesn't seem quite so bad. So we've got that going over on the Twitter. That's at NisiBGN. We have the YouTube channel where we archive all of the live streams from here. That channel is also NisiBGN. Trying to see if we can get the sub count up over there. So if you do happen to go over there, if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. It's free to do. So only take a moment of your time and you can clicky and it's cool. So we've got a long ways to go before that channel gets monetized, if it ever does. I don't think it will at this point, but we can try. We have the Etsy shop. I think I only have 3 things up at the moment. Everything else came down. I have to do some evaluations on what's going to go up and when. This will go up on there at some point. We have to finish it first. And I have to have money to post the things because there is a slight posting fee. But yeah, so we've got the Etsy shop, and then I'm also on Kofi. I've got a small gallery of things I've done over there. So yeah, if you'd like to donate to me or to the channel without having to go through Amazon, because I know a lot of people don't, that's what the coffee button on the bottom corner of the screen is for. And you can just donate through there, and that'll go directly to my PayPal, so you don't have to have Twitch involved. So I hope to see you all on Wednesday. You guys have a good week. Hope your start of your week goes smoothly. And until we are together again, have a good one.